Scottie Scheffler has been unstoppable. He won the FedEx St. Jude Championship by 8 shots, shooting a 61 that tied the course record. He clinched a $23 million bonus for topping the FedEx Cup standings, and he moved within $1 million of Tiger Woods' all-time career earnings record. But just 1 week later, the world number one has been brought to his knees by something nobody expected. He is sick. His voice is hoarse. He refused to speak to reporters after his opening round at the BMW Championship, and his golf game has completely fallen apart. Scottie Scheffler walked onto the first tee at Bell River Country Club on Thursday, looking like a completely different player. The man who had dominated TPC Southwind just days earlier was unrecognizable. He looked like an imposter had stepped into the world number one shoes. Scheffler opened with 3 consecutive bogeys, a stretch of golf so poor that he made 3 bogeys in a row on his front 9 for the first time this entire season. He was 4 over par through his first 7 holes. The man who had just won by 8 shots couldn't even make a par. He managed to steady himself enough to finish with a 2 over 72, his highest first-round score since the U.S. Open in June. But the damage was done. The statistics were devastating. Scheffler ranked 48th in the field in strokes gained on approach and 47th in strokes gained putting. He lost 2.065 strokes with his approach play and 2.373 strokes on the greens. The man who had been the picture of health and consistency had been brought low by something as simple as a bug. After the round, Scheffler did something he almost never does. He refused to speak to reporters. The world number one, who is usually extremely accessible to the media, regardless of how he plays, walked straight past the press and headed for the locker room. According to the Dallas Morning News, Scheffler's voice was hoarse when he said he didn't want to stop to talk. His only explanation was a single word. He said he was sick as he headed toward the locker room. The news was concerning. Scheffler had been battling an illness that had clearly affected his performance. His voice was gone, his energy was depleted, and his golf game had suffered as a result. The man who had been the picture of health and consistency had been brought low by something as simple as a bug. Scheffler returned to the course determined on Friday to salvage his tournament. Playing early on fresher greens, he flipped the script with a 5-under 65. It was a remarkable turnaround from the player who had looked lost just 24 hours earlier. "I wasn't feeling 100% yesterday," Scheffler admitted after a second round. "I didn't get off to a good start today either, but did a good job of fighting back. I made a good bogey there on 6, nice birdie on 7, good par on 9, and was able to get some momentum on the back." He was still not back to full strength. He planned to head home and rest rather than linger at the course. But he had proven that even when sick, he is capable of competing at the highest level. The man who had been sick just days earlier was fighting his way back into contention. Scheffler's illness came at a time when he was already dealing with significant personal milestones. Earlier this year, he and his wife Meredith welcomed their second son, Remy, on March 27th. The couple's first son, Bennett, was born in 2024. Scheffler has been open about the importance of family in his life. When asked about his success, he credited his wife for her sacrifice. "It takes a lot of work for me to be able to do this for a living, and it's a lot of sacrifice for Meredith," Scheffler said. His family has been traveling with him more this year, which he described as really fun. The Scheffler family celebrated his St. Jude victory together, creating a wholesome moment that fans loved. The man who is fighting for a $40 million prize is also fighting for his family's happiness. Despite his illness, Scheffler is still on the verge of history. He needs just over $1 million to pass Tiger Woods on the PGA Tour's all-time career earnings list. The record, which has been standing since 2000, could fall at the Tour Championship next week. The Tour Championship at East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta features the top 30 players in the FedEx Cup standings competing for a standalone $40 million purse. All 30 players start even in a conventional 72-hole stroke play event, meaning whoever wins the tournament outright wins the FedEx Cup. Scheffler will have to be healthy to have a chance. His commanding spot on the points list guarantees nothing once he tees it up in Atlanta. The illness that derailed his BMW Championship could be a warning sign. The man who is chasing Tiger Woods' record must first overcome the sickness that has slowed him down. Scottie Scheffler's shocking illness has stunned the golf world. The world number one, who won the St. Jude Championship by 8 shots just days earlier, shot his worst opening round in months while battling a sickness that left him unable to speak to reporters. He fought back with a 65 in the second round, proving that even when sick, he is capable of competing at the highest level. But the concerns remain. If he is not fully healthy for the Tour Championship, his chase of Tiger Woods' record could be derailed. The questions now are impossible to ignore. Will Scheffler be fully healthy for the Tour Championship? Can he overcome the illness and still capture the $40 million prize? And what does his fight say about the resilience of the world number one? One thing is certain, the man who has dominated golf for 3 years is facing his toughest opponent yet, and it's not on the leaderboard.